Alrighty, so this is you guys are doing a real good, real tight group. That's what I like. So if you notice, as we do small changes and no one's overreacting, we're not getting the group strung out. We're not splitting all over the road. In fact, by keeping it tight and compact like this and reacting the way we are, we're going a lot faster for what our watts per kilo would indicate for a normal ride. That was very good non-reaction to the gradient. Good job. All right, 30 more seconds here. Then we'll ease off, and we're coming up to Frank here soon. Ten seconds. All right, let's go ahead and ease to 1.5. That way I can type out the rest of what we're gonna do. Okay, so the next one's going to have much bigger changes and much more drastic changes. So what I was doing there was that 1.5 and 2.5, trying to more or less hover around a 2 with a slight up and a slight down. Now we're going to go from a 1.5 to a 3.5 range, and I'm going to hit the gas and get off the gas. Hit the gas and get off the gas. Maybe ride steady, then hit the gas. So you're going to see much bigger fluctuations, and you're going to see how much more it matters for you to react and really pay attention, and how much more it takes out of you each time you do react, especially if your reaction time is slow. So let me take that out real quick. Alright, so I'm not going to just drill it for you guys, so you don't have to worry about me just getting a 3.5 and sitting there. I'm going to go back and forth. We'll start in about 20 seconds. Easy on the front, guys. And then I'm going to, like I said, go from 1.5 to 3.5. And you guys just need to react. The more strung out we are, the harder this is for everybody. All right. Sorry, getting used to my road bike gearing again. Alright, so like you just saw there, I had to hit the gas to move up. And now I'm gonna getting caught in the sticky draft world here.
Pretty easy when you're telling us when you're gonna do it.
Well, it's still early in our set.
True.
So for those of you who are around with me, when you see me ease off, you got to ease off too. That's what makes this hard. It's about trying to manage your position as close as you can to me without going too far back or too far up. Alright, good. So you're noticing it's a little bit harder, isn't it? Staying right with me.
There's still safety in numbers, though.
Yes, there is. So again, the tighter we stay, the more you reduce that ability for someone to influence a group like this. That's one of the nice things about the draft equation that Zwift uses. If you get all strung out, it's very, very easy for one rider to get away. In this principle, it's very difficult when you're all bunched up. Part of that's because of the sticky draft, and part of that's because of the numbers of the group allow your draft to just overtake what I'm doing. So if you noticed right there, I had to get to a 6.0 to get around. Now, Seymour just came over the top, but he didn't really need to come over the top. A bunch of guys are coming over the top now. Remember what we said before? It's all about just staying close to me. You don't need to be over the top, and now we're seeing we're getting strung out a little bit in the back. And if I'm going to put in these surges, it would behoove everyone to keep me on the front as much as possible. Because then you have that group is getting pulled along, and you can respond as a group. Or you force me into the middle of the pack where it's very hard for me to get out with a nice short surge. The other part is, like we mentioned earlier, about letting the ride string out. Well, what we did right there was when everyone came over the top of me, we strung out the ride a little bit, which allowed me just to accelerate to the mid threes to get out and around people. I did not have to go to 4.5 or 5. There we go, Jansen. Good. Frank, we're coming up on you. See, now we're all strung out. Look at what's happened. If you look at the behind you view, you'll see we're starting to line out. So that means I'm going to ease off a little bit and let everyone come back on. All right, we're gonna go for about 2 more minutes here, well, 1 minute 20 actually. And we'll get into our next part of this game. For our guy that's on the TT bike, he's not benefiting from the draft, so big fail on his part. All right, good. So I just did an acceleration there, and I happen to pull everyone with me as I did it. So there's no getting away like that unless I do a massive acceleration.
I find that I'm almost only loosely paying attention to you. I'm really paying more attention to the group.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Once you're staying tight in the group, you can pay a little bit less attention to me. You just pay attention to the flow of the group.
But also loosely trying to make sure that you don't get a gap.
Yeah. Yeah, you're paying attention to me, but you're not focused on me necessarily. Tease to 1.5. Let everyone recover real quick. Grab a quick drink. Okay, so we're going to cover really big changes in pace next time. And I'm not talking about sustained pace. I'm talking about really short burst attacks. And the way you want to do those short burst attacks is you got to figure out what's going on. What we're going to do to start with our short burst attacks is I'm going to launch 3-second attacks, where I'm going to go hard for 3 seconds, then drop back to a 2.0. All I want you guys to do is maintain a 2.0 to a 2.5 and stay in a very tight bunch. The reason I want to do that is I want you to see that while I might get a small gap, your numbers are going to pull me right back if I can't sustain it. We're going to go a little bit more in depth here shortly, but that's going to be step 1 of how to react to big surges. Easy now, easy now. That was awesome. Everyone stayed nice and close to each other. All right. So I'm going to start in about a minute. Let's keep the group very tight. I want you guys holding 2 to 2.5. Let's mob this group up. I want a nice big ball. Make it the blob. I want you to make it hard for me to get away. Right now, one big attack for 3 seconds and I'll get away because we're all lined out in 1 or 2. If we're spread across the road, we can have a much better effect. Alrighty.
Hey, Coach. Good evening.
Hey, sorry, they started us an hour early, Seth.
Well, shit.
Yeah, don't worry, just rest and recover. There's always next week.
Okay. I read 6:30. What happened?
Zwift.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go eat pizza then.
Yeah, enjoy. I'll get it
Thanks.
fixed with Alan for next week.
Okay. All good.
Yeah, you guys just keep 2 to 2.5 the whole time. No change in pace. So look, I only got 2 seconds off the back of the group because of you guys being all bunched up. Easy, CPL. There we go. That's a good tight group chasing me down. You guys have burnt no extra energy. And you pulled me back in control. All right, one more time, folks. One more time. Once I get up to the front of the group. All right, 2 and 3. All right, good. So I gave a little.
Who is that guy that keeps running off the front? You'd think he would learn.
Exactly, morons. Now the key thing about this, folks, is that you're going to see people doing this by accident because they can't control what they're doing. So what you need to, that's why I'm saying don't respond to everything. This is a good way to identify it. If after a second or two when they go up the front, if they're not continuing their effort, then you're going to want to chase, either individually or as a group. But there's no reason in burning your matches because someone's not smart or not skilled. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to launch attacks that are between 3 and 10 seconds. If I go past 3 seconds, I'm going to want the group to accelerate to a 3.0 and chase me at a 3.0 as a group. I will stop at 10 seconds, drop to a 2.0. If I don't go over 3 seconds, I don't want you to chase me. Just pull me back normal because that means I made a mistake. Okay? All right, is it pretty clear what we're doing here? I will take silence as consent. And we'll get at it. Now remember, you're gonna chase at 3, but chase as a group. Use the numbers. If you go individually, it's gonna be much harder on everybody else. Or for yourself. Then you're gonna burn matches for no reason. All right, so let's lift yourselves to 3, and then chase me down. All right, good. So you guys are stringing out a little bit, but that's okay. You did a very nice, slow lift. That was good, real good. Good job, folks. That looked nice.
Ian, when I'm in a group, I will sometimes intentionally string out to make sure I'm not dropping riders behind us, but the idea is to bring everybody up.
Yeah, so that's okay to do, but for those who aren't specifically doing that, the goal is to stay like right in the middle of a bunch. So like right now you can see we're not attacking, but we're pretty strung out. So at this point, everyone should be coming back together to try and tighten it up. So this is a class we did a long time ago, and we'll do again this January probably, talking about lulls in the race, about when we should attack. So that's what you're talking about, is when you have that time to pull people back, string out just a little bit, get the guys back onto the group, and then you bunch back up. Me, as an opportunistic attacker, I view that as a lull, and I'm probably going to attack when that happens. So like right there, we had 2 riders that were slightly off the front. Common mistake. I try to bridge to them, but I overbridge. Now I'm off the front. And you guys pulled me right back, nice and easy. Let's watch how much we're pushing into that. There's no reason to accelerate. Work together, work together. Good, okay, I'm watching you guys what you're doing here. No need to go 4.7, folks. Stay together at 3.0, and you will pull me back in short order. I put in a little longer one there just to make you work for it. Good, so I like that. Seymour, good job at the front. Bailey, you too. JK, nice. Sitting in. Scuba Steve, you guys want to tighten it up a touch. Peralta. Good. Really nice. Really, really nice, folks. rider slightly off the back. All right, you guys are doing a good job of keeping that nice constant pace in the group when we're together. Position myself. Good. All right, OM, a little too much, don't chase me. Remember, I'm easing off. Now, if I see you're not making any gains on me, I may hit the gas and try to really go for it then. All right, now I gave myself a little gap, but because I'm not smart and I've been surging all day, I'm a little blowed up. You guys see me at a manageable pace, at a manageable time, that's when you chase me as a group. Awesome. All right. All right, let's go and ease off and spin the legs. Gonna cool it down a little bit. Apologize again for short class. Next week we'll be at 6:30 Eastern time, 7:30 my time, 5:30 St. Louis time, some other time in Europe and Australia. So, quick recap of what we were working on today.
Wow, time flies.
I know.
Almost an hour already.
Yeah. So, big things we were looking at today is how do you react to changes in pace? Changes in pace happen at a lot of different times during the race. The big ones are just normally small changes as people are moving off the front, coming back onto the front, rotating around the group, not paying attention, reacting to something that they thought they saw, not being able to control their power, or possibly attacking. For the vast majority of the times when you see changes in pace that are not straight up attacks, you don't need to change much to chase it down. Most of the time when those people go off the front, they will sit right back up. Or if there's small changes in the group, you just stay as tight as you can and you weather whatever change happened. Often it'll go right back down, it'll settle. More often than not, you're going to see these changes happen when we hit the small grades, whether it's on the flat course going through the tunnels, coming to the volcano, where we make that turn, going right up to the volcano, off the main route. All of those small changes in grade, like the one we're on right now, can affect the pace. Because most people aren't paying attention to the grade, and they react to all of a sudden having some resistance if they're on smart trainers. Those who aren't on smart trainers, they tend to be a little steadier. Hey, congratulations on the Mount Everest climb finish. So, what you really have to pay attention to on that is, what is the meaning of that change of pace? Is it an attack? Is it something that's meant to string out the group? Or is it just an accident? And the ones that aren't really a big deal, again, you just want to sit there, ride it out, stay with the group, close it down. You need to pay attention and not fall asleep to that, because if you fall asleep to it, or if you fall asleep or stop paying attention, that rider who accidentally rolls out the front may in turn attack. And that happens more often than you think. Once a rider sees that no one's chasing them down, or at least no one's paying attention, boom, going. I've done it a number of times, a couple times successfully, more often than not successful because the group chased, but those are the things that can happen. So does anyone have questions about what we covered today in our short abbreviated class? No?
Not me, Ian. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for joining in. Like I said, next week it'll be an hour later. Hopefully you guys can make it then. And we will do a little bit more chasing as a group and a little bit more exciting stuff next week. But the rest of the month and throughout January, you can expect that the pace of the group will be lighter as we get new people on Zwift that we really want to give them the chance to learn these things. So don't expect too much in the mid to upper threes. We're going to be spending a lot of time in the twos, especially the low twos, so people can learn how to race or ride their bike on Zwift, so to speak. All right, so 2 more minutes. Feel free to spin your legs out. If you want to hit the gas, you can. I'm done after this, so I'm just relaxing the legs, getting a nice little spin. I hope you guys, if this is your off season, you're taking some off season time, working on the fun things. And we do have a few other ODZ rides during the week. We have the What's Up with Power ride in the mornings on Wednesday. We have the Chat and Chill ride on Monday mornings with Taya. We're going to get back to doing some more workouts that we'll be streaming, or we'll be streaming and we'll be doing group workouts, so look to those. And we have our normal Friday ebb, the Magnum Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We also have different rides. We have the Wagner's Wagon on Thursday. We have the coffee rides on Wednesday and Tuesday. This weekend, I believe we have a coffee ride. But on the 16th, for those of you who are on part of TeamODZ, we have our Heroes theme race. So it's kind of like a cat and mouse, but we're going to split up into different teams, and there's points awarded, and there's different twists to all of our themed races. So they're a lot of fun. And it's perfectly acceptable to talk a lot of trash to each other and on the other teams. But it's all in good fun.
That was a nice save, Ian.
Thanks.
Brilliantly done.
Thanks, everyone. I learned something nice today. Have a good night.
Good. All right. Take it easy. Have a great night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks again, Ian.
Yeah,
See you
no
next week.
worries.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.